Okay, this video is to show you how to make this mask. Here's a sample, what it looks like. It's reversible. So the first thing I did after printing the pattern, you want to take, back up. You want to take fabric, put right sides together, double layer, pin your pattern piece on, make sure it's double layer, cut that out for the main fabric and repeat for the lining fabric, and you'll use your lining pattern for that. It's a little bit smaller. So once you get your pattern pieces cut, you'll see them here. I have my lining fabric and my main fabric. They're a little bit different in size. You're going to take your fabrics already right sides together, and you're going to sew on this curved part with a 1/4 inch seam like this. So I'm using a 1/4 inch seam and just stitching on the curved part. And you'll do the lining and the outer fabric. Ta-da! So once you get the outer fabric and the inner fabric at this stage, you're going to take both pieces and you're going to lay them together and pin them. So I have my main fabric, which is longer, and my lining fabric, which is shorter. I have them all lined up and I pinned them together here. So I'm going to sew along the top edge and the bottom edge, but leave the ends undone. Just like this, using a 1/4 inch seam. And then I will repeat the process on this side. If you're going to be making them for someone that's wearing glasses, or you're going to be making them to give to a healthcare professional, you need to put some sort of wire in the nose, on the nose piece. I'm using floral wire. I cut a 5 or 6 inch piece of floral wire and I bent it. You can use a twist tie or pipe cleaner if you don't have twist tie. So if you're going to be using the wire, you'll need to sew it into the seam allowance. So you'll see I have it here. The top part, the curved, is the nose piece. I'm going to turn my sewing machine on to zigzag stitch, and I'm going to carefully zigzag stitch the wire in place, and it's only going to be in the seam allowance. So when I turn this, which is the next step, the wire is going to be securely inside at the nose piece. So after you turn it, which I've done here, then what you're going to want to do is top stitch along the edge to secure everything. So put your machine back to single stitch. And I'm gonna add the elastic in just a second. So I'm just top stitching around the edge. It doesn't have to be a 1/4 inch from the edge. You just kind of want it to be close to the edge to hold everything together. And you're gonna do that on the top and the bottom. If you've put the nose wire in, you need to be careful when you're top stitching not to hit the wire. So you might need to kind of go down around the wire a little bit so you don't break a needle. But I'm going to top stitch around the bottom. The next part with putting the elastic in, that's the fun part. And that's the part that is not as self-explanatory as the rest of this is. Fun part, in my opinion. I like so you like that. So since elastic is kind of hard to come by, I came across some of this really skinny elastic, which is going to work perfect. That's my preference. I cut 6 3/4 inch length of my elastic for each ear. If you can't find that,
How
then
long again?
6 3/4 inch length of elastic.
I'll do that.
If you don't have that, then a hair tie that you use for your hair would work as well. And then the other thing that I have found, okay, you need to be recording. The other thing that I found was this cording, nylon macrame cording. It is not stretchy, but it works really well too. I would cut this 8 inches and then you'll just tie it in a knot. And the 8 inches allows for you to, since it's not stretchy, it allows for whoever's wearing it to make it a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. So we're gonna go on with the elastic. This is kind of a cheat step that I found. I have the elastic like this. I'm gonna lay it here. Now follow along. First thing I do is I fold over the main fabric 1/4 inch or so. And then I'm gonna fold it again and see how I sandwiched in my elastic. I need to trim those, trim the strings. So now I'm gonna sew along this edge right here, but I'm not gonna get the elastic. I'm gonna sew right here, making a little casing for the elastic. Right here. There. Okay. Back stitch. Okay, I'm gonna repeat for the other side. And I'm going to pretend I already did the other side. So by laying, I should have cut these strings as we went. By laying the elastic in the casing as I made it, that eliminates me having to thread the elastic through my casing. So now I'm just going to tie my elastic into a square knot. A square knot so it won't come undone.
Square
knot.
Remember that.
So you pull on it. Now, when you go to put it on, elastic goes around your ear. There you go.
Congrats.
Ta-da! Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck making it. And
are you ready? Okay. So I forgot one other step when stitching around the outside edge to secure the edges. I also like to stitch down the center, and that just helps secure this while you're when you're washing it, to keep all the pieces together, and it makes it look a little nicer when it's being after it's washed. That's not a totally important step, but I felt like I should mention it. And the mask is reversible. I don't know if I mentioned that, and 100% washable.
did you
And
it?
the other reason I meant to talk more about the nose piece is the reason if you have glasses, that the nose piece, you can conform it around your nose, which helps from your glasses fogging up if you wear glasses. If you don't wear glasses, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're making these, like I said, for someone with glasses, you need it. Well, if they care about if their glasses get fogged or not. And if you're sending it to a healthcare professional, they're going to need it because they also will wear protective eyewear, whether they wear glasses or not. They will have something over their eyes, so they will like that. And I prefer this pattern over this pattern. That is the first one I made. I didn't really like that. And this pattern also includes masks for kid sizes.
That's my favorite.
Which is kind of cool. Let me
my favorite mask.
And then I had made this one with the non-stretchy, but it works just fine for
non-stretchy.
All right, so these are 100% washable. Now they are they're not the N95, so they are not going to protect you from the actual virus. This is just going to help filter the air. And it is also, that's my disclaimer, and it also help remind you not to touch your face whenever you're out. But the government is now recommending that we wear some sort of mask, so here you go. Thanks, Ross.
No problem.